Hello, my name is Melissa O'Rourke. I am the owner and the manager of Ashlands Nursing Home, along with my husband Jason. And I would just like to thank you for having me here today, and hope that you'll be able to take away something that you'll be able to put into practice, maybe not only from what I'm saying, but from what everyone else here today says, and obviously after Dr. Kate Granger speaks after us. I'm not here to tell people how to do their jobs, because I'm sure most of you here are already doing that, and Helen's assured me that there might be somebody sat here that will have not thought about the small things that we've done, and you'll benefit from it, and I won't stand up here embarrassing myself. I'm a registered nurse, and I've been in the care industry 22 years. We run a small family nursing home called Ashlands in Waterford, and we look after 19 residents who've got nursing needs. I'm here today following feedback that I gave to Helen after what my opinion was from the first Hello, My Name Is back in February when myself and staff attended. I just thought it was so thought-provoking. I actually thought about it for nights and days after, about what had been said and what can we do as health professionals and for people that we actually look after. But before I talk anymore, I just want to show a video that somebody once showed me when I was 14, and it's actually stayed with me my whole nursing career. A lot of you probably have already seen it. If you have already seen it, I hope it just jogs your memory and you think about it on the way home. And if you haven't, I have only got a 10-minute time slot, and the video itself's about 15 minutes long. So I've just got the first 4 minutes of it, but I've shown it my children as well. Oh, you've done it for me. Oh, that's good.
Four times she called me last night. Last one, had gone midnight. On for over an hour, going over to Sainsbury's. She went on about at 7, 8, 9 o'clock. I mean, it's not as if she hasn't got other friends she can't offload onto. Oh, never mind. It's light as a feather, this one. Not have any trouble getting her out. Anyway, finally, get to sleep at 2. Back up at 7 to come in here, and I'm on a double shift. What about you?
Nah, single.
Right, you're the lucky one here.
What's she saying?
Oh, nothing. She had a stroke. She likes to make a fuss every now and then. Don't you, dearie? That's quite moody, this one.
What's her name?
Mrs. Atkins. Oh, Aitkins. Mrs. Aitkins. That's something like that. A chart somewhere.
What do you see, nurses? What do you see? Are you seeing when you're looking at me? A crabbit old woman, not very wise, uncertain of habit, with faraway eyes, who dribbles her food and makes no reply when you say, in a loud voice,
I do wish you'd try.
I do wish you'd try. Who, quite unresisting, lets you do as you will, with bathing and feeding, a long day to fill. Is that what you're thinking? Is that what you see? Then open your eyes. You're not looking at me. I'll tell you who I am as I lie here so still. As I move at your bidding, as I eat at your will. I'm a young child of 10. With a father and mother, brothers and sisters who love one another. A young girl of 16, with wings on her feet, dreaming that soon a true lover she'll meet.
So that's just a brief part of that. It does go on. So now, taking on board that, I'm not going to dance or sing. I can't do that. But I do want you to imagine that you're in your late 80s, possibly 90s, and you've lived a full and fruitful life through no fault of your own. Maybe you've had a stroke or you have dementia and you're admitted to hospital. You're laid in a bed feeling vulnerable and possibly frightened. You have no medical knowledge and you are unsure what has happened to you or what is planned for you. You have no idea you're not going home as no one has told you. And then I appear to introduce myself and tell you why I'm there, that I've come to do an assessment on you and you'll be coming to live with us at Ashlands. You had no idea that you're not going home. Then, from what you hear from the nurse who's been looking after you since 11 o'clock that morning, after I've asked her for some information about you for your discharge. Bed 9, I'm not sure, I haven't worked on here before. It's a bank shift. I'll find someone who knows. Sharon, do you know anything about the man in bed 9 going to Ashlands? Sharon, who is the ward sister, comes then, and you think, thank goodness she'll know me. I've been here 3 weeks. But then, as you hear her walk in the bay, saying, which one? The one in bed 9. Oh, well, I'm not sure, because I've been on the female side all week. I know he's going, but I'm not sure when or where it is that he's going. So then I need to know, how do you mobilise, how do you eat, how do you drink, how do you go to the toilet, how do you communicate? And all you hear is, well, I'm not sure, like I said, I've been on the female side all week, and the other nurse pipes up in the background, and I'm only bank, I've never worked here before. So you're led there in bed 9, and how do you think you're feeling? Lunchtime arrives, and I'm sat there writing my notes from the end of the bed about you, because nobody knows the 84 years of your life. The lunchtime is handed out, and they also think that your name's bed 9, and the other man opposite you, funny enough, is bed 8, and the man next to him is bed 7. I was absolutely heartbroken looking at the man in bed 9. He was 84 years old, that has a family that has seen and done things that we might never have. And that's when I decided to stand up here and try and convert or preach about how important it is from an outsider coming into your busy world. An 84-year-old man who's led there in the bed is not just bed 9. And then I couldn't stop thinking all night and the next day, and then I thought how glad I am that Kate has done something that will hopefully change the way people are seen. In 2005, both my parents passed away, and although I was fortunate to have been able to look after them at home, there was a brief time that I had to leave them in the care of hospital staff. And the feeling of anxiousness when you're leaving someone you love dearly is something, unless you've ever had to do it, that you can never express. And I hope my parents were not just bed 8 or bed 9. And that makes me passionate that things need to change and that it's not acceptable. Hopefully all of you sat here now have the ability to go from here and spread the word and put into practice and change other people's practice and attitudes. Although I'm already passionate about the care that is provided to the people who rely on our help, I thought we had it sussed. But when we came in February, I brought a new carer with me who hadn't worked in care before, and she felt that maybe a board in our entrance porch with our photos and names on would be a good idea, so that people who are now new coming into Ashlands would know who we are, as currently I just presumed everybody knew who we were. Also, the dementia group that spoke before said about finding out about people's lives at funerals, and I feel that maybe in my job role I've become a professional funeral attender, and I have found out a lot of things about people maybe I'd cared for 5 years that I never knew before I sat there when it was too late. So what we decided to do is develop what we call an All About Me, and each resident has a key worker, and part of their role is to speak with family and friends, and if possible the resident, and ask them to give as much information about their life history as they can, so that we know about them. And it also transfers to hospital and back. We found out by doing this, one of our ladies at 78 had gone backpacking around Australia on her own and had done a skydive parachute jump, raising money for a local hospice, and that another lady can speak 5 languages. I would never go around Australia on my own, never fly on my own, I would never do a parachute jump, and I can't speak 5 languages. So it's about taking the time out to learn about these people that have had a good life. We also needed to develop name badges, and instead of just having a name badge with Melissa, manager on, I wanted to develop badges that if I was sat there and I couldn't communicate my needs, or if I had dementia, I wanted to be able to look at somebody's name badge and think, what would you do for me? What can you do for me? So I downloaded the Hello, My Name Is logo and found a website that develops badges and sent it to them. And also we have staff names and descriptions on, and I couldn't think of what to put on mine, because I could cook, cleaner, carer, nurse, social worker, anything. But there's badges that I've got here, I'll pass them round. It just says, hello, my name is, and this is Adele's, and it just says Adele and I keep the home clean, and this is Daniel's and I cook your meals. And it's so, we have found residents do look at your badges, and they do read and they do take on board what it actually says on your badge, rather than manager, carer, because people with Alzheimer's or brain disorders might not realise what your job, what it does for them. The main thing that I hope you take away from what Kate has started is that it costs absolutely nothing to remember somebody's name. See them as a person with a life and not a bed number or a target time or a breach. Think about the small things that you say, because one day it could be you. That's it. Thank you for listening.